And welcome back. It is the WXCO Morning Report, part of Mornings with Pat Kreitlow on 98.9 WXCO. Online at WXCO.FM, mobile devices, and Alexa by searching WXCO, and on the Civic Media app. I am Chad Holmes, joined again by Ian Welsh. Ian, good morning.
Good morning, Chad.
We will talk more to you coming up in just a little bit. But first, to start things off this morning, really wonderful to talk about a group and a place that does a lot of good work for folks here in our community. And we're here to talk about the Clothes Closet. We have a couple representatives from the Clothes Closet to tell us all about it. We were joined by Sherry Johnson and Terry Helrud. And Sherry and Terry makes it nice and easy. Sherry and Terry, glad for you to come on by, and thank you for stopping in.
Oh, we're delighted to be here. Thank you.
The first thing I want to talk about, and I guess first of all, to explain your roles within the organization. And Sherry, when we were talking beforehand, and Terry, I'm going to steal one of Terry's little items here, said that basically you're the heart and soul of this operation. Could you talk a little bit about what your role is within the Clothes Closet?
I do run the Clothes Closet, and I have 56 volunteers that actually help me out, and it's just wonderful cooperation between the people in the community and the people of our 3 churches that run the Clothes Closet.
It's a big organization. That's a lot of people to work with, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. And Terry, what about you? What's your role here with the Clothes Closet?
Well, I've been volunteering on and off over the last number of years. The Clothes Closet actually has been around for 11 years, although it's really taken off in size and scope in the last couple of years. And the Clothes Closet itself is called the River of Hope Clothes Closet, and it's housed in the Mount Calvary Lutheran Church building. And currently I'm council president of that. So we try to work together to make sure things run smoothly.
Very good. And one of the aspects that we wanted to talk about here today is something you just said, that this is something that has been growing. It's been more than a decade, but Sherry, it has really kind of exploded recently, hasn't it?
It has. We went from helping 7 people a month to this last month, we helped 493 people.
Again,
with over 6,000 pieces of clothing in just 1 month.
That, you told me that, and that blows the mind in a sense, because I mean, that is an incredible rise. I guess before we talk a little bit more about the nuts and bolts about the operation, what do you think is the cause of that?
There is just such a great need out there, and we have had the exposure now to be able to meet that need for the people. And we have been putting it out on Facebook and the Generous Hands of WhatsApp page and word of mouth, and people have been telling other people about us because they come to our Clothes Closet and have such a good experience that they share it with their friends and their families too.
And Terry, in terms of partnering, you said it's housed at Mount Calvary. Is that correct?
Correct.
How did that come about? How did this all come about? Because I know part of the story here is that a number of different groups and organizations are coming together in helping here. How did your part of the puzzle come together?
Well, the River of Hope Clothes Closet is a part of River of Hope Ministries, which is the name of a new partnership of 3 different ELCA Lutheran congregations in the area. It's Mount Calvary in Rothschild, Bethlehem Lutheran in Kronewetter, and St. John Lutheran in Mosinee. These 3 churches have come together in their own partnership, and as part of this, the Clothes Closet also becomes part of River of Hope. It allowed us to have a bigger volunteer base along with people from the community to grow along with the needs of the community.
Let me ask both of you, because even beyond the, I call it the X's and O's, the design of operations such as this, it comes down to something within each individual. For each of you, What was maybe the spark that said, I want to be part of something like this? Sherry, we'll start with you.
I started helping the homeless people back in 2014. And when I joined this church, they had this outreach, and I could see where that could be put to so much good with helping other people.
And Terry, along the same lines, but maybe even expanding a little bit, what got you involved and what keeps you involved and helping to grow this? I mean, often when you start a project, you have an idea of what it's going to be about. And I think in hearing what you had to say about where it was and where it is, that this has probably grown beyond maybe what you thought it was going to be not too long ago. What is that got you involved, and what is it that keeps you involved, even probably when it starts to get even some more heavy lifting involved?
Heavy lifting, and there's always an obstacle or two that we need to overcome. But what got me started in the beginning was basically somebody asked, right? There was a person in 2014 that said, people are asking, do we have clothes? Do we have clothes? And so we started small, and could I help? So it's seeing the people, their need, and their gratitude for being able to find a place that can serve their need, and that's really been the fuel. And we were starting serving 50 to 100 people a year, and that's kind of where we were at for most of that time until 2003 seemed to be the year that it just all of a sudden we served 522 people in that year. It's like, what just happened here?
Part of it, I imagine, is that, like you said, word of mouth, and also, and I think Mayo touched on it when I was talking to you yesterday, setting this up, is that sometimes it's not easy to ask to go in and when you need the help, but it seems as though that there is a welcoming aspect to it. Could you talk a little bit about the importance of folks knowing that, hey, this is something that is there for you, that there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I may need a little bit of help?
Yes, we pride ourselves in making everybody feel very welcomed and very encouraged to use our services. Um, and as I said, it's word of mouth, because then they'll go online and post about their experience, which makes other people feel comfortable in coming. So
where is it actually located for folks? I mean, I don't think we even touched on that yet. Exactly, where do you go if you are somebody that would like to explore the opportunities
it's
here?
at 503 Schmidt Avenue, Rothschild, Wisconsin. And you can park in front of the church, and there's a closed closet entrance.
So the closed closet is right at the church.
It's right, excuse me, inside the church building. Yes.
Okay. Again, we're talking to Sherry Johnson and Terry Hellroot about the closed closet here on 98.9 WXCO. What else do people need to know about this? Because this sounds like, man, it's amazing. Again, those numbers kind of stick with me. That the idea that so many people are out there that are in need, and these are people that are living their lives with their families. What have you learned? I guess maybe the question I would ask within our human neighbors out there, and within your church, which is again trying to spread, I think, goodness in our communities. What have each of you found, maybe the experiences that you found that have that would be able to maybe paint a picture of what the closed closet means to both you and the community as well?
Especially right before school started, we were so busy this year. Just people struggling to put clothing on their children for going back to school. It was so good to be able to help them out in that way. We also help fire victims. We help women's shelters, nursing home, and the houseless population. We help foster parents, and we also help the orphan train. So there are so many ways that we can help. And we can do this all by the generosity of people's donations. And that is wonderful. People have been so generous with their donations from our community and our 3 churches, and it is wonderful. We also do have to sort and size and hang up all those clothes. So if anybody ever has any time to come and volunteer, we have work Mondays from 10 until 4
Mm.
that you can just pop in. If you can pop in for an hour, that's great. If you can stay longer, that's great too. And help us sort those clothes and put them out for the people.
And Terry, what about you in terms of uh, the growth of this? And then again, I talked to Sherry a little bit about this, the continued growth, and that says a lot for the people that do want to aid and help in our community, doesn't it?
It does, both in terms of the need for it and in terms of the volunteers and the donations, because each has grown together, right? The number of
Mhm.
volunteers who've seen the need and have helped, the donations that make this possible. Um, Sherry, I believe the Close Closet has given away something like 50,000 items so far this year. That's a lot, right? That's a lot of
Mhm.
pants, shirts, shoes, and whatever. Those come a lot from donations from people in the community. And everyone's story is different, right? But what I see is when people come and they have a need, and they're usually careful to say, "But I don't want to take too much," right?
Right.
I have this need, but so do others. So I'm going to be careful in what I take and how much I take, and the story. I mean, the unexpected disasters, like you said, the fire victims, the person whose clothes got stolen out of the laundromat and all of a sudden didn't
Mm.
have anything, foster parents unexpectedly or grandparents unexpectedly getting custody of grandchildren, and just people struggling, just ongoing economic struggling, trying to make ends meet. Clothes is a basic need.
Well, recently, and I actually talked about this on the program about I went shopping for clothes. I had not done that in a
Mhm.
while. And it's amazing just for one person. And then you think about a family that has multiple kids that are going to school. And you talked about, start of school. It adds up so quickly. And I don't think people sometimes even realize until they're in the midst of it. It's like, holy cow, this
Clothing
is,
is so expensive.
yeah, and it's one of those things. And also, you mentioned about the growth. How have you been able to keep up? Because you talk about the amount of people that come in and the amount of items. You talked about some of the volunteers. Was there ever a point where you got a little overwhelmed?
There have been times when we have been overwhelmed, and then I just ask more people to volunteer, and it gets done. It
How
gets done.
how is there a way that people can either check online? What's the best way? Say number one, they want to volunteer. Number two, they want to donate. Number three, they may know somebody that is in need that would like to come by. What are let's get to the basic information about this, because in our discussions, there may be people out there saying, hey, I want to be involved. How do they do it in those different ways?
They can either call me, Sherry, at 715-571-2620, or call our church, and that is 715-359-4500.
359-4400,
No,
correct? Oh,
4500.
4500. What we're going to be doing is part of our show notes. We have a podcast page, and we have show notes for things that we talk about on this program. And I'll make sure to put that information down in our show notes. So if you're out there tuned in right now, just go at the end of our program, a little bit after 9 o'clock this morning, and we will have today's program on there, have a description of the things that we've talked about this morning, and then that information as well to be involved with the clothes closet. Anything else that you want to add, Terry, in terms of what people need to know? Maybe even beyond, they want to be involved, what they get out of being involved. I imagine that for yourself and others that you've known that have volunteered their time and their treasure and their energy and everything else. What do you get out of this?
It is a good feeling to be able to give to others, and we are housed in a church, and as part of that, right,
Right.
we feel that this is something that God calls us to do.
Mhm.
But beyond that, regardless of your spirituality, or it in the society, we're in this together. So
Right.
if we can help each other and give each other a hand when it's needed, because sooner or later we all need a helping hand somewhere along the way.
Do you sense, Sherry, that this is going to continue to grow? Actually, the best news that we could have probably here is the need would go away, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to be going away. Do you expect this to continue to grow?
I do expect it to continue to grow, and things like this show, telling people about it, that just helps with that growth. That is wonderful.
And to wrap it up, let's talk to those people that, again, may have that need. The bottom line is, don't be afraid to come by and take a look and be involved in that way as well. What's the final message that each of you would want to send out about the importance of this, and anything else that maybe we're missing right now?
Well, you mentioned if you have a need, and that's hard for people to define, because it feels like we can always look at someone who has a bigger need than we do.
Right.
But a need is a need, small need or a big need, and I hope people would feel comfortable in being able to come check it out and decide for themselves.
All people are welcome to come, and we don't have any income or residency restrictions at all.
Are there hours that people need to know about?
Yes, we are open on Mondays from 1 until 4, and on Thursdays from 9 until noon.
1 until 4 on Mondays. And again, on Thursdays, that time again was
9 until noon.
9 until noon. So again, we'll have that information as well on our podcast information show notes page as well.
And that is also when people can drop off any donations also.
So again, there's ways for you to be involved in every aspect of this. And again, it's about doing right for our community and doing right for our fellow citizens, and to help those, lift those in need, and also lift yourself up, because by doing good work as well. So again, Sherry Johnson, Terry Hellrud, thank you both for sharing the information this morning. And again, thank you for all the work that you do. And it's so important.
Thank you, Chad.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, come back with more WXCO Morning Report, and more with Pat Kreitlow coming up as well on Mornings with Pat Kreitlow here on 98.9 WXCO.
And we're clear.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.